So this is a continuation of our, the way of training for the PL/SQL logic. So last time we have seen how do we perform the DML operation in the various scenarios using PL/SQL, using entity object and using just Vivo object. Now what we do is in this session we'll discuss about how do we call a PL/SQL function. Okay. So the basic difference between a function and a procedure is
Okay.
in the PL/SQL procedure you don't have any written value, but in the PL/SQL function you'll have a written value. That's a major difference. Okay. So
Yep.
what we do is let us say if at all if your PL/SQL function is part of a query, there is nothing specialty we require, isn't it? Let us say assume that you have a query like select name get details. Assume that get details is one of the function,
Yeah.
and if you just say it from table name, there is no need to write any special logic because the query itself will take care of executing a function, isn't it? But let us say if you want to invoke the function explicitly
Yeah.
using a Java logic, then we require our the callable statement API. Okay, so we'll just see a sample. How do we invoke a
Yeah.
function? The same in this particular package we have a function called get emp count. So just this requires a department number. So we'll try to pass a department number and get the value. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll just create a page and we'll just create a controller. Okay. So in the web UI, right click on new OA component page. Okay. So invoke PL/SQL function page, and here set the controller.
Okay.
So here we'll just set the properties, main region, aim definition, CNSI, okay. And now the function
Yep.
the logic either we can write in the in the controller or we can write in the AMI-MPL. But as it is a custom program, we prefer to write in the AMI-MPL only because. But if at all if you're working on extension, then the CO is a general choice. But as we have this a custom page, we prefer to write in the AMI-MPL. So I'll just create two components. One is text input and other one is submit button. So I'll
Okay.
just say department number ID, and here enter department number. Okay, and other one is submit button. Invoke get emp count. Okay, so
Okay.
let's write the logic on this button. So in the AMI-MPL, let's write the logic first.
Okay.
Okay. Now the
Yeah.
expectation is that we need to pass a parameter from the controller to the AM. So then we have to call our function. So here we have to call our callable statement API. Okay. So I'll just get this particular code of this callable statement. Okay. And yeah, 1 minute.
Okay.
Yeah, as of now, this is enough. So here, what do we require us? We have to mention our package name dot function name. So get this particular signature. And then this is our parameter. Okay. Now, the basic difference is we need to invoke a
Okay.
function, right? So here, what we have to mention is we have to mention a parameter first like this, colon 1 colon equal to, okay? And then here it starts with 2 here, okay?
Okay.
So this is the difference when you invoke a function.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Okay. Okay.
yeah, so now we'll get with the output is like we require department number, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so here, so we have to convert this integer into number, okay? So integer
Okay.
dot parse int, and this one we can just pass the number, sorry, string.
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah, so surround with try and catch, okay? So this how we can try to pass the string, and nothing but we are trying to convert a string to integer, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, and the next thing is we have to register the out parameter. So register, we have to register the out parameters. So the first parameter is our out parameter, isn't it? So here I have to
Yeah.
mention the first parameter as out parameter, and here I have to mention Oracle types dot integer, okay? And then callable statement dot execute, and then department number is equal to callable statement dot get int. Now mention this, okay?
Okay.
And
Yep.
generally we'll start with smaller case. If at all, let us say if this is raising any exception, what we can do is int error flag is equal to 0, and inside this one we'll just say error flag is equal to 1, because here we should not write any throw logic in the catch, okay, because that will throw one more exception. So if
Okay.
error flag is equal to 1, no exception, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, like this, fine. So now we
Okay.
have to call this logic from the CO. If page context is not equal to null, we'll just need to call that. And first of all, we have to get department number str is equal to page context dot get parameter. So here invoke get emp count, okay. Okay, so let's see.
Yeah.
Binding is a major important part when we are calling the PL/SQL logic. So we just need to pass the appropriate
Yeah.
data types. That's where we always face the issue.
Okay. Okay. So this is the same as procedure 3 when registering the out parameters, except that we do it
Yes,
at position 1, right?
yes, that is what, yeah, that's the only thing which is required.
Okay.
Okay, So let's say I'll pass 10. We got EMP count as 5. We can also validate from here. Let us say let us count of star from EMP where dbtny is equal to 10. We have to get 5. Okay. And we can try for another one. So 20, for 20 we have to get 6. Let's see that. Okay, 6. So now one basic thing, let us say like we are calling the logic from the CO and we are displaying the exception. But let us say you have a requirement that you need to get the count value from the AM to the CO. Then what should we do? The requirement is, okay, we have written our business logic in the AM and we want that particular count value should be available in the CO because we want to compare that with another value. You got it? Okay. Let's see that.
Yeah.
So now I will not disturb this existing logic. I'll just write one more logic. Get EMP count function new. And now the basic thing is what value you want to return. I would like to return integer. Okay. And then I'll just mention return. So I should not write any throw here. Don't write any throw logic for the else part. For other part, let it be. But else part, don't write any throw. Because what happens is if you have a throw here, it will throw exception. It will not come to this line. Because whenever it raises an exception, it just stops there. It will not proceed further. Okay. Now, other thing is, I'll comment this also. So let us int emp count. Okay, so this is how we can get a value. Right? Yeah, now we can try again.
Okay.
Right? We got 6.
Okay.
Same logic. Now another variant we generally come across, I'm not sure whether we discussed or not, so but I just want to show you. So here we are getting the AM. How are we getting? Page context dot get application module, right? So in general standard programming, maybe if you try to see any other standard code what they do is, so they'll just write like this: OA application module AM is equal to, I'll just say AM new page context dot get application module. Okay. So using this logic, they'll try to get the AM instance. Okay. And the remaining thing, what happens is now here, this is OA application module API, right? So in this one, you cannot call you will not have your custom methods there, isn't it? Whatever the methods which are there, they are available in CNSI. But how does this particular the class know your method? It will not know that, right?
Yeah.
Got it? So
we'll have to cast it.
Yeah, so what do you require is this one. It provides another logic here. I'll just okay, int emp count is equal to am dot, we have to mention invoke method. Am dot invoke method.
AM new.
Sorry, yeah.
AM new right string.
Yeah, right. Am new. Invoke method. In this one, mention this particular parameter. Mention the method name. We have to mention the method name.
Okay.
And not only this, if you observe, we have to pass a parameter, right? We need to pass a parameter.
Yeah.
In this one, if you observe the invoke method, there are 3 different ways of calling the invoke method. Invoke method with just method name, invoke method with a method name followed by serializable parameter, invoke method, method name, serializable parameter, and the data types, class data types.
Okay.
Three different types.
Okay.
So in this one now what we have to do is, this is our method name, okay, and then we need to pass a parameter like this, serializable params. Okay, what is the parameter? Department number str. Okay, serial.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, serializable. Okay, and
Perhaps, right? Yeah.
yeah, sorry. Yeah, now what is the error it is telling? Yeah, serializable array. Yeah, can you see? Generally, this is how it should be, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But if it is returning any value, see, because invoke method cannot return any value.
Okay.
Invoke
Yeah.
method cannot return any value. So
No.
the earlier function will work. The earlier function
Okay.
will work, but this may not work.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. I'll
Yeah.
tell you this one anyway. I'll try to clarify this one. Okay. So time
Okay.
being, we'll just park. We'll park this one. So
Okay.
let's ignore this. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So here,
You have to uncomment after string.
yes, that's it. This is how we can call a function, and then you can get a return value in the CO also. Okay. So
Okay.
the other logic which I want to discuss is the prepared statement.
Okay.
So prepared statement is for the purpose of calling a SQL statements. This prepared statement is a Java API which we use for the purpose of calling the SQL statements. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So what we do is we'll try to just call one of the SQL statement to get the data. Okay.
Okay.
So let's see that. Okay. So I'll just say invoke prepared statement and set new controller. Okay. So click on new item. So I'll just call the logic on this particular button event. Okay. Invoke
Okay.
prepared statement. And the logic again, this logic either we can write in the AM or it can be in the CO. So let me get the coding actually. So this logic is written in the CO. Okay.
Okay. Page context.
Acha. Why it went like this? Okay. Yeah. Okay. CNSI. AM is equal to. Okay, so the issue is with this one, right? Aim dot this one
Okay.
connection statement. So what is happening is that I think we would have imported some different connection statement. So check that one. So this is very different one. Can you see com.sun.corba? So this is
Okay.
Java entity corba. This is another framework. So better remove this one
Okay.
and now try to import again. So just check this one. So here we generally require Oracle or java.sql.connection. Yeah, this one.
Okay.
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 And also we see like how do we know that like we have to import that? So you can just try this one because we're calling a database transaction and from there we are calling another method called this one, right? So just control click on
Okay.
this one. It will clearly tell you what is the return value.
Okay. Okay.
So that's how we have to identify.
Okay.
Okay. And now this one here, this is one more issue. So the expectation is that generally we think this is like a normal JBO domain date, but the problem is this is not JBO domain date. Okay. So here we can just
Okay.
observe. So this returns SQL date.
Okay.
So I imported java.domain date, but it is importing the SQL date. So I have to remove this. Now again try.
Okay.
Yeah, here I'll just say I'll select java.sql date. That's it.
Okay.
And any other exception? Yeah, I think we got some extra parenthesis or maybe something. Check that. We require one more braces. Okay.
Okay.
So this very simple select statement, what are we doing is when a user clicks on a button, so we have a selected statement like this, EMP name, job, salary, height, date. We are getting all these particular 4 columns from the EMP. Okay.
Okay.
And the basic logic is we have a SQL string. How do we iterate it? If it is a function, anyway, we know it will get one value. But if it is some SQL statement, if it returns multiple values, multiple rows, how do we iterate? That's a major concentration here.
Okay.
So the first thing is we have a select statement here, and then we got the appropriate connection information from the aim.getOIDB transaction. Then here we need to call a prepared statement API. So in the callable statement API, we used to pass our SQL string, right? So now here we have to
Yeah.
pass our SQL string in the prepared statement. So the prepared statement API, like in that, we just need to mention connection.prepared statement and followed by our SQL string.
Okay.
And then other thing is like a execute query.
Okay.
So now we have the information in the prepared statement and prepared statement dot execute query. Once you call this method, what it will do is it will return the result of the SQL query. See, this is a SQL
Okay.
query, right? So generally, like in the SQL developer, once you press F5, it will flush out the data into the console, the output console, isn't it?
Yeah.
So here also in the prepared statement, what happens is it once you execute, it will automatically return you result set. It will automatically returns you the result set. It's like fetch operation, or maybe in our case, like our create row set iterator option. When you call a
Okay.
method called create row set iterator, it will return you the row set iterator stuff, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
so the same thing is applicable here. So here you'll have the data in the result set. Just like we just need to iterate the result set now. While while
Okay.
while rs.next, that's it.
Okay.
So get the value. Now here we just need to mention the parameter sequence starting with 1.
Okay.
Okay. So here I mentioned 1 for EMP name, salary, job, then yeah, name, job, salary, and height rate.
Okay.
Okay. So here one more thing is like it depends upon the data type. So that's the reason we have integer, string, and date. So these are the basic data types which we generally come across, right? So that's the reason we choose this one.
Okay.
Now, yeah. So let's try how this works.
So we are iterating through the data, but we are not displaying it anywhere, right? Say because we did not create any.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here we are displaying the data in the console itself, I hope.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
We just wrote the SOPs to display
Okay.
data in
Yeah.
the console, but maybe still we can, like what we can do is you get the data and assign to a bin. That's still possible,
Okay.
right? So we got all the data here, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. In this one, let us say, assume that you want to get a value of the last particular record and you want to assign that to one of the OAF bin. What we can do is, let us say, string emp data initial I'll set to null. Okay. Now, why it is giving like this? Yeah. Okay. So then what I will do is, so emp data is equal to, so I'll just have the values like this. Okay. Now we want to, so anyway, like once you come out of the loop, what will happen? The emp data will have the information about the last record, right?
Okay.
So now
Yeah.
there are different ways of doing it. So now let us say we want to create one attribute, one particular component. In that we just want to set a value. So mostly it will be, like a message style text, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. So we'll just see that. In this one, we'll just create a new item. We'll just move it to on the top. I'll just say it can be text input also, but either way, message style text.
Okay.
Now emp data ID. So now we have to get the bean, isn't it? OA
Yeah.
message,
And text.
yeah, style text bean by bean dot find index child recursive emp data bean dot set value. Okay, I think this is declared here, right? So okay, yeah, let's try. Yeah, let's see this now, right?
Yeah.
The last record, maybe we can just check from here, test 9, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Now I have another question. Okay, we are displaying all the data in the console, right? Can't we display this particular data in one of the in one of the table region? We are
Okay.
getting multiple rows, right? We're getting multiple rows. So the same
Yeah.
data, can't we display maybe as a as of now, we are concatenating all the data in a single column, right? Either way, let's consider this as a
Yeah.
single column. How do we display all this particular data in a view?
Create a programmatic view and then
Mhm.
create a table region out of it.
Yeah. So now what we do is, like, let us say new view object. So emp dynamic view. Okay. Rows populated programmatically. Click on next.
Okay.
Now click on new emp data str updatable
Oh,
always. Click on OK. Next. Next. Generate Java file also. Next. And finish. Okay. Now we have to assign the viewer to the emp dynamic view. Apply and OK. So now as of now I'm writing all the logic in the CVO, but all the other logic will works in the aim as well. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Invoke prepared statement. Click on new region using a wizard because we have to create a table region. We don't see like we should not create don't prefer to create graphical components using the what you say using Java APIs. Always try to prefer them in a declarative fashion.
Okay.
Because there's a possibility we can create the components dynamically also. All the UI objects, whatever we have an option to create them dynamically also.
Okay.
So yeah, I think now the PM that Vivo is not yet refreshed, I guess. Let me try. It's not refreshed. EMP dynamic Vivo, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Still it is not there, but let me try. I'll just create a new region, set the style as table. Okay. Now
Yeah.
in this table region, I'll just create a new item. Let me check it will show or not. EMP, no, it's not showing. Yeah, we just need to close JDeveloper. Let's reopen.
Oh, okay.
Okay, dynamic Vivo.
Yeah. Okay.
Now we'll set the value EMP data. So mention the EMP data here, and here also mention EMP data ID. Okay, EMP data. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So now what do we require is we are getting a data, right? We just need to assign the row one by one. So this particular column we have to set in our viewer attribute. So how do we do it? So first of all, you have to get the row. So what is that?
Get Vivo first.
EMP dynamic, right? EMP dynamic Vivo IMPL. Vivo dot aim dot get EMP dynamic Vivo, right?
Okay.
EMP dynamic,
Row.
yeah, row IMPL. I think we generate.
Not sure, Sri.
Yeah, I clicked on it, but yeah, I generated.
Okay.
Okay, and also check here the attribute, the data attribute check once. Yeah, it is updatable. Okay. We have the API, but still it is not showing here, right? This is just because of JDeveloper bug. So what we can do is,
Okay.
so just click on this Vivo, click on this row IMPL, or try to rebuild. Okay, just click on make, try to rebuild. Just copy the Vivo name. Okay, so row is equal to null. Yeah, that's fine now.
Okay.
Now what do we do? So here, once you get the data,
Create row.
yeah. So row is equal to Vivo dot create row. And better, you can just simply write execute query method here itself. It does not need to mention set max first size, all those logic here. Just simply
Okay.
mention view dot create row, and now row dot set new row status, row dot status initialize. This is also not required because we are setting rows one by one, right?
Okay.
Row dot
Insert.
set emp data. We have to set the data, then after that we have to insert.
Okay.
View dot insert row. Now this row. Okay. Okay. Set emp data. View dot insert row. That's it.
Okay.
So let's try. Okay, so yeah. So now what is the issue? The item EMP is having a maximum length of 0, which is not equal to that of corresponding VO attribute EMP data. So make sure that they are equal in size. So now here, that's the reason we prefer to create the component using a wizard. If you create the component using manually, you'll come across these kind of issues. So
Okay.
there is something called maximum length. It says that what is the stuff it says?
255.
In the graphical level it is 0, but it is not equal to the Vivo level, which is 255. Simply I'll set it to
Oh,
255. That's it. Okay. Now try to rerun. Okay, let's try. Got it?
yeah.
Of course, we can set that one to message style text, so we'll get the proper one.
Okay.
Okay, so this is how we can
Okay.
use the prepared statement logic. So most of the functionalities OAF with the PL/SQL logic is done, like maybe either like a procedure, function, the SQL statement. All the stuff
No.
is done. Now the next topic is like we'll have in the next session, like working on AOL components like messages, lookup, value set, flexi field, all those
Okay.
things.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
Steve.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.